journeys we are meant to take. Something at the edge of space, calling us to fly away.
Zoom for a controversial pizza topping, or that extra kick to get your tongue popping.
Jet2.com and Jet2 Holidays flight. You'll be happy to hear that it's nearly time for takeoff. So please find your seat as quickly as you can and we'll get going. Please put all small, loose items under the seat in front, so there's enough space in the overhead lockers for larger luggage. If your bag has a yellow tag, or you've got any glass bottles, these need to go under the seat in front of you to keep them safe. Also, please make sure the aisle and exit areas are nice and clear. If you need a hand, our cabin crew are more than happy to help, so get comfy and have a lovely flight.
Good afternoon. That went well. How do we have an ad break already? Literally 2 minutes in. The spoonieism. Because it's winding me up. Don't know if I've ever had subs, so I'm going to sub to my own bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking.
Okie dokie. So, welcome to Stansted. We're in the PMDG 747. Say hello if you're in the chat. Yay, I've subscribed to myself. Hey Hina, how you doing? Right. I remember how to fly a 737. Let's go and get boarding started. EGSS. And then let's start getting our 737 set up. And then from that have a proper bit of a chat. But good afternoon, how you all doing? Been wonderful. We are gonna head sunny. And there is the real life video coming up that has its flight departure Stansted Thursday, going live on our YouTube this
Boarding
evening.
requested.
So, get my checklist so that I can remember how on earth this works while you guys you've got plenty. So, let's go first of all. So all I've done really is turn us on, put ground power on, find the IRS, everything else pretty much outstanding. Get going in the next 30 minutes. So, do go.
Do you want to board crew?
Not one of
Passengers bus is coming.
We've got time. I'll have a quick look round in East Stansted. Just installed it for the first time, and it. Are you flying with us, Hina? Lovely. So your dampers are on. Get the window heats on. Left aft on. Now we can go down and start. See, amazing. The route is on the schedule. If you would like. So, head into the FMs. In it. At error. I don't think it recognizes 8. Yep. Pick up. Start.
Passengers boarding starting.
Route Echo Golf Sierra Sierra. Echo. No. Fine today as annex to town. What? And pop our departure in from Stansted.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking.
Expecting a Nugbo 1 Romeo departure. Hina with 7 months. Don't you become a silver at 6 months? I get that wrong. I've sworn that was how it worked. Get up with Spoony. Surely you should be silver. So, find myself a that routing. We are like 8 over to silver. I don't think I've ever streamed in this 737. Take my cursed aircraft on stream. This is bound to ex-Portsmouth manager Downey Cowley. T70 backflip. Easy at Stansted. We had 11 departures on the ground when I looked a bit ago. Get the holding. Right. Good. 8th. Get into a whole series of directs. Balan. Ev pop. TheFatRat. Oh. Don't know what that stands for. GALAC. GOR. Lumra. Rocket. Oh, Dan said he might be joined by the few. Have a few fight, which would be lovely. Giant and upper 7. Still can't. November 7. That takes Sargo and the Buffalo. Activate that. Over to our perfinite screen. Oh, 0. Now, who have we got? Hello, Swampy. How you doing? Just dropped your sister-in-law at uni. Amazing. Which uni is your sister? We are. That's 8. Simbrief. Back just in time to come and join us for a flight down to Spain. I've got rid of my Simbrief flight plan. We'll guess the reserves. They're about 3. We are going to cruise today at 70. Actually, I really do get Simbrief. Put it back. Got my reserves. Fuel. Vessel 1, 2, 2.7. That's close enough. But on so 6, 7. Mission altitude out stands 6,000.
Passengers bus is coming.
That in. Time. Take off. Max 5. Take off. Gravity. 136. And that's pretty much better, I think. Target speed is low. We're going a bit fast. Alright. Don't we? Well, to give Nina some time to load in. Get set up. Let's brief the departure. Get some. Be visible. Quick look. Departure. First of all, Ugbo 1 Romeo. We're expecting today. Fairly straightforward departure. We're going to climb. We're going to fly straight out.
Passengers boarding starting.
3.1 the ILS and then we'll make a right-hand turn to intercept 69 Barkway, and then 2 miles before Barkway turn, set the Nugbo waypoint. Altitude initially 4,000, so 4,000. You only just learned that you can hold down the left mouse and it scrolled. Set an initial heading Stansted 2. Two, 3. Is that your 2E nose that's poking out there? Have a look outside. There's Hina in his 2E. I thought you were Mr. Like Virtual Jet2. Let me go and have a quick look at my favourite thing about this scene while we're here. Someone who goes to Stansted quite a lot and knows the airport quite well. The thing that blew me away was the scenery. Go and have a look at the shuttle. This is the shuttle station in the main terminal. There's the shuttle arriving. We wait a minute, that shuttle, for the next shuttle to come in. They've actually configured the tracks and how this runs exactly the way it works in reality. So the arriving shuttles come in on this left hand track, you scissor, go in backwards, and then drop his passengers off and then reverse back in to come. I thought the most fantastically accurate goes that I've seen in a sim. Arrivals off, scoot up to the end, gonna come back down, pick up a bunch. I thought that was absolutely. I won. Show quite how amazing this is. Found one crew Stansted. One thing I didn't like. Let's go and find the bus terminal. I thought the way they modelled this was odd. Parked all of these buses over here, and not one single bus. Like, all of this should just be overflowing with National Express. That should not attract in. Amazing. Let's just quickly go and find the station. In fact, they've gone to the trouble of properly modelling Stansted Express train. Like, that is the actual train used on the Stansted Express, perfectly modelled. Like, a really nice rendition of it. Absolutely. Anyway, let's go and pop ourselves back. Back over to our aircraft. Back inside.
This Jet2.com and Jet2 holidays flight. You'll be happy to hear that it's nearly time for takeoff. So please find your seat as quickly as you can and we'll get going. Please put all small, loose items under the seat in front, so there's enough space in the overhead lockers for larger luggage. If your bag has a yellow tag, or you've got any glass bottles, these need to go under the seat in front of you to keep them safe. Also, please make sure the aisle and exit areas are nice and clear. If you need a hand, our cabin crew are more than happy to help, so get comfy and have a lovely flight.
Like that. Let's go and pick up Stansted meters in just a second. Oh, you've become Air France, have you? Right, lovely. 1, 2, 8.
Broken 2,700 feet, temperature +21, dew point +17, QNH 1020. Acknowledge receipt of information Delta, and advise aircraft type on first contact. Stansted information Delta, time 1350 Zulu, runway in use 22, transition level flight level 70, surface wind 210 degrees 9 knots, visibility 10 kilometers, or more. Broken 2,000 feet. Broken 2,700 feet. Temperature +21. Dew point +17. QNH1020. Acknowledge receipt of information Delta. And advise aircraft type on first contact.
Okay, so let's now head over to ground and we'll go and request our clearance.
Player 800 ground, good day. Taxi via Juliet, hold short of Charlie.
Juliet, and you said hold short of Charlie?
And player 800 expect stand for 3 right.
Was that Montfo? Hello.
Alright,
welcome
Juliet,
for
hold
following.
short of
Thank you for
Charlie,
following.
expecting
Welcome
stand
aboard
for
Aviators
3 right.
TV. We're getting
player
ready
100.
to depart out of London Stansted, and we are heading down to.
Hey, ground time jet 117 X-ray, the Boeing 738-1023 with Delta, request IFR to destination, please.
Tomjet 1187 X-ray, read it is on the text, then as flight able to accept it?
Hey, Sam, we'll call you back, jet 117 X-ray.
You know, did you file the same flight plan I did? Is there a problem with it? ATC's much louder than me, okay. Turned the sim sounds down a bit, and I'll turn ATC down a little bit.
Taxi.
11 Echo Bravo, taxi to holding Sierra 1 runway 22 via Charlie, Sierra.
Sierra 1 Charlie and Sierra Rhino 11 Echo Bravo.
Doesn't help that the controller is so quiet. Hino, is there a problem with our flight plan? What is it? Sod it, I'll just call him. Stansted ground, very good afternoon. Chanex 32 Hotel November, stand 25 left, 737-800 with Delta, QNH 1020, looking for clearance to Menorca, please.
Chanex 32 Hotel November, I read it is on the text, then as flight, are you able to access it?
AFAM, Chanex 32 Hotel November. Okay, so let's go and have that reroute.
Chanex 32 Hotel in November.
Before we want to Cowley. And he wants us to go direct Goodwood. See what happens. Try and just plug that in. I'm gonna say no. Not really. So.
Chanex 32 Hotel November. Clear to Menorca via number 1 Romeo departure, squawk 5660.
We're cleared via the Nugbo 1 Romeo departure. Just repeat the squawk, please. Chanex 32 Hotel November.
Chanex 32 Hotel November, squawk 5660.
Squawk 5660, Chanex 32 Hotel November.
Chanex 32 Hotel November, via on the text, QNH 1020.
Sorry, just repeat your message, Chanex 32 Hotel November.
Chanex 32 Hotel November via reroute on the text and QNH 1020.
Roger, we've got the reroute QNH 1020, Chanex 32 Hotel November.
Tower 11 Echo Bravo, contact Tower 123805, bye.
Tower 123805, Rhino 11 Echo Bravo, bye.
Thanks. 0. Okay. So, we already route. Have a look at how that compares to our route. So we route to Vapid. We then route to Goodwood.
And ground time jet 117 X-ray with the new route, ready for clearance.
I don't think this route actually changes it. He sends us to Goodwood.
Tomjet 117 X-ray.
Oh, he doesn't want us to go to Vapid. He wants us to go direct to Goodwood.
Controller change in progress. Expect 2-minute delay.
Roger, X-ray.
Delete, Vapid, and TEVC. Delete, TEVC. clear the discontinuity. Delete the why won't you let me delete? That. Then after Goodwood, wants us to date up on November 859, which we are already doing. So I think that's sorted that flight plan out. Okie dokie. You know, you seem to have become a British Airways to me. Oh no, you've just had a British Airways spawn inside you. Right. We are pretty much ready to go. I'm about a 2 or a 3. Make my mic. Is that better, Swan?
Stansted Ground Player 800 approaching taxi Charlie.
I think we can start powering up our APU and moving startups. So let's go up to the overhead. Shoulder chain. So oh, they can do that without calling everyone. Go APU start. Set our cruise altitude up here while we're at it.
Player 800, continue taxi, stand 435 Charlie.
APU going up, so we'll get the APU bleed on.
Stand 435 Charlie, Player 800.
Stansted ground, FedEx 42, Golf ready taxi on Zulu East.
FedEx 42 Golf taxi, holding point Romeo 1, Romeo 22, via Juliet, Bravo, Hotel.
Ventilation valve is set to open.
Holding point Romeo 1 for 22 via Juliet, Bravo, Hotel
Set
and
the
Romeo.
altimeter. I think we set our transponder. 5660, yeah, that's a transponder. Things
High ground
completed.
11 FedEx rapid clearance.
Takeoff data is set. Set the cruise altitude, we'll set the landing altitude later. Let's go on our flight directors.
Frontier 117 X-ray, just stand by 1 sec.
And let's, while we're here, Stansted Tower's just come on, so let's get off the line. We've even got Stansted Final Director. A bit different. We'll get our next frequency ready for when we need it. 3805. I'm guessing Jamie's on his way back. Got 2 directors
Good
on.
afternoon, Blue Max 429 Whiskey. If you vacated, runway 23.
Blue Max 429 Whiskey, Stansted Grand.
Let's see what happens when... right, our APU's not on.
Via Juliet and Bravo.
Right, APU is generating
Stand
power.
32 right via Juliet and Bravo. Blue Max 429 Whiskey.
Ground power off. Go and...
Tomjet 117 X-ray, select the display. You're cleared Lima Echo Mike Hotel, Nugbo 1
ground power.
Departure, Squawk 3526.
They're not letting Hina out. Oh, we're on an ad break.
Clear to destination, Nugbo 1 Romeo 3536 with Delta, Tomjet 117 X-ray, thank you.
Tomjet 117 X-ray,
oh wow. I don't want, does that mean, I hope that doesn't mean my overall marks are a 1. Let's switch over to the ground chart for Stansted. Got that when we are ready for our pushback. Right, we've got rid of the ground power, got rid of our wheel chocks. I think that makes us pretty much ready for push. Let's have a quick look around the plane, make sure all our doors are closed. That looks good. Hina's making love to British Airways, so we'll let him have fun with that. And I think start preparing for pushback. Mad Max Pilot, hello, how you doing? Welcome. You're on an ad break. I'll say hello to you again in a minute. Right, prepare for push. Okay, welcome back from the ad break. Mad Max Pilot, hello, welcome aboard. We're just about to push back. I think we're pushing into the middle of a whole load of arriving traffic.
We are ready for
From Jamie. Let's go and
Golf contact.
call up.
Stansted 123.805. Bye-bye.
123.805. Thank you. Goodbye.
Next 32 Hotel November, ready for push and start.
Next 32 Hotel November.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
There's traffic going to pass behind you first.
Roger.
Sounds like good day, Shamrock T43 Hotel vacated left path to Lima Romeo.
Shamrock 253
Where's
Hotel.
that guy going?
Ground flow. Taxi stand H1 via hotel.
I'll push back the truck. Okay, fine, there he is.
Stand 81 via Hotel Echo, Shamrock T43.
No, not an in real life pilot. Somebody attempting to pretend I know what I'm doing online.
Jet 117 Express 1023, ready for push.
Tom Jet 117 X-ray, just confirm the score. 3526, correction, 3526.
3526, Chanex, correction, Tom Jet 117 Express.
Yeah, you know Chanex is better.
Tom Jet 117 X-ray, thank you. Are you able to push onto Bravo West?
Gonna make it away before I do, Hina. The one problem, we're sitting on this taxiway.
Are you able to push just onto taxiway Bravo West?
See if we can see who's coming past us.
Tom Jet 117 X-ray, thank you. 723, right push started onto Bravo West.
Push has approved on Bravo West, Tom Jet 117 X-ray.
I mean, let's face it, I'm a ground controller. Can only make you hold so much.
Hotel November. After the Ryanair 737 passes behind, stand 25 left, push and start approved to face east.
After the Ryanair 737 taxis behind, push and start approved to face east. Chanex 32 Hotel November. Oh, there's an MD-11 now. Very nice.
Ground, hello, Ryanair 10 Tango Papa, vacated runway 22 at holding point Lima Romeo.
Right. East, we're going to be nose
Ryanair
left.
10 Tango Papa.
Release parking brakes.
Ground, hello. Taxi stand 34 via Hotel and Bravo.
Why isn't that working?
34 via Hotel and Bravo, Ryanair 10 Tango Papa.
Hello?
Release parking brakes.
I've done it. No releasing. Alright, we'll try.
Release parking brakes.
Trying.
Release parking brakes.
Yes, thank you. That's very helpful.
Commencing push.
There we go.
All engines clear.
Right, who was that? J-Dog Plays, hello, welcome aboard, thank you ever so much for following. We just worked out how to release our parking brakes.
There's an aircraft that's on stand 32 and I don't have enough winter clearance for a 3-2 right. Is there another stand you want to take me to?
Yeah,
let's get our safety demonstration going.
Welcome on board, and thanks for flying Jet2.com and Jet2 Holidays.
Roger, we'll take
We're nearly ready for takeoff, but first, please make sure your mobile phones, tablets and other electronic devices are in flight mode, fully switched off and safely put away in your hand luggage.
This is because you're not allowed to use them until after takeoff. When the seatbelt signs are switched off, you can use your devices again as long as they stay in flight mode, as you cannot send texts, make calls or access the internet while you're on board.
If your device becomes damaged or hot, produces smoke, is lost or falls into the seat or aircraft, you need to tell us immediately.
Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes is not allowed. For your safety, please follow all instructions and cabin safety signage. We'd also just like to tell you about our friendly On Board Together policy. We've created it to protect you and our cabin crew from any unfortunate antisocial behaviour. That way, we can make sure everyone on board today has a great flight.
As part of this, please remember that you can only drink alcohol that's served by our cabin crew. If you bought alcohol in the terminal, you cannot drink this on board. We want all our customers to enjoy being on board together. Please now make sure any hand luggage is safely put away and your seatbelt is fastened ahead of takeoff.
Have a lovely flight.
Confirmation for good engine start.
Right, let's go and we'll start engine number 2 first. I always wait until GSX has finished back to start my engines because it tends to cause things like wheel spin. Don't do that. I hope you enjoyed our little safety demo. GSX does all crazy thing. I haven't noticed it being any worse than it was. Now let's go our fuel condition lever. About ready to go up and get engine number 1. So over to ground. This is the first time in about 4 months I've flown this 737. So anything might happen. Chances of us safely making it to Menorca are slim, I'll say that. Let's go and get our fuel condition lever on. No planes were harmed. Oh, we've had a raid. Hello. Not VNX. No, thank you ever so much for raiding across. I hope you had a great stream. What have you been up to? Let's have a look. I can see you've been flying out of Cardiff. Everything but England. I'm guessing you went up to Scotland. How was it? Right. Let's get GSX to shut up first of all.
Cockpit to ground.
I've had a good engine
We have a
start.
good engine start. You can disconnect.
Hello baby, you woken up to be my co-pilot? No? Okay, I'll fly on my own, that's fine. Right, let's finish going through our checklist. So gens 1 and 2 on. Engine 1 and 2 start switch is continuous. Probe heats come on. By me, we've got a follow. Hello, welcome aboard. You didn't crash a plane, so you'll take it. Excellent. Well, thank you for following. I can't promise to have the same achievement on this stream, but we're gonna do our best. Engine 1 and 2 bleeds are on. We're gonna pop the packs back down to auto so the passengers can breathe. Recirc fans.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Auto. Our isolation valve.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
To auto. Get the APU bleed off. The APU off. Set our flaps. We're going to flaps 5 departure today. We're heading down to Spain. Those who joined us on the raid. And I will in a minute be ready to go. Flaps are set. Let's check trim we need.
Ryanair 46 Delta Yankee 737-800, information Delta QNH 1020 stand. 3-1, request RRT Columbus.
Ryanair 46 Delta Yankee, Roger, I'm just going to send you a reroute and let me know if you can accept it.
Loads of rerouting going on at Stansted today. Right, elevator trim is set. Arm VNav, arm LNav. Arm the auto throttle. Speed brakes to RTO. We'll go and get our taxi lights on, and then I think we are ready to go. X32 Hotel November ready for taxi.
10X32 Hotel November, taxi, low point, Romeo 1, runway 22, via Bravo Hotel and Romeo.
Bravo Hotel and Romeo for Romeo 1, X32 Hotel November. So we're going to take the first left in front of us, immediate right, and then left, just a bit of a snaking effectively.
Jet 117 X-ray, roger, taxi, straight ahead, hold short Juliet.
Straight ahead, hold short Juliet, Jet 117 X-ray. Grounded over at 07.9, stand 32, submission Delta, Cessna 52 to direction airport, Boeing 737 MAX 8.
Ryanair 07 Delta Mike, Stansted ground, hello. I don't have a flight plan from you.
Okay, so I guess just me to it, I will fly to Vietnam and I call you back when I'm ready to have an occurrence.
Ryanair 10 forward, stand
Give it a little bit more money.
Have a nice day.
Thank you, bye.
Bye-bye.
Stansted ground, hello again, it's LEMH 8 Victor Delta with you, we're 737800 on stand 30 with Delta, request clearance back to Edinburgh.
LEMH 8 Victor Delta, Stansted ground, hello, cleared Edinburgh, the Tower 1 Romeo departure, squawk 7264, Cuban H1020.
Good Edinburgh, East Tower 1 Romeo departure, squawk 7264 and Cuban H1020, LEMH 8 Victor Delta.
LEMH 8 Victor Delta, V back right.
Good afternoon, Stansted ground, this is LEMH 53 Lima Charlie with you. We're on stand 22.
So many blue maps.
Delta aboard Boeing 73 MAX 8. Requesting IFR clearance to operators.
LEMH 53 Lima Charlie, Stansted ground, hello, I'll get back to you in a minute. Break, X32 Hotel November, contact Stansted Tower 123.805.
123.805, X32 Hotel November, thanks ever so much.
Jet 117 X-ray, continue taxi, holding point, Romeo 1, runway 22, via Hotel and Romeo.
Romeo 122.
That's the tower, very good afternoon, X32 Hotel November holding Romeo 1.
X32 Hotel November, Stansted Tower, good afternoon. The surface wind's 220 degrees at 13 knots, runway 22, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, X32 Hotel November. Right, get this thing taxiing. Seems to need a lot of throttle, I don't know if my throttles just aren't calibrated properly. Taxi lights are off. We'll reset off flow. Set the clock. What else do we need to do? Taxi lights are off, landing transponder we do need to do. Transponder goes to TARA. That's us pretty much ready to go. Throttles up to 50%. And we'll go Toga. Hello, why have you disarmed?
Hey Tower, Jet 117 X-ray, Romeo 1 with Delta.
Jet 117 X-ray, it's Stansted Tower, hello, via Romeo 1, line up runway 22.
That's probably not the right procedure, but we'll go with it.
V1, rotate. Positive rate of climb.
gear up. Let's go and get our autopilots engaged.
Shanix 32 Hotel November, contact Stansted Director 136.2.
136.2 for Shanix 32 Hotel November, thanks ever so much. Stansted Director, very good afternoon. Shanix 32 Hotel November is on the Nugbo 1 Romeo 2,100 feet.
Shanix 32 Hotel November, Stansted Director, hello, gotcha.
Let's get our flaps all the way up.
KLM 662, this on altitude 2,500 feet, cleared LS operation by 22.
Fuel pumps off.
Send 2,500 feet, cleared ILS, KLM 62.
I'm KLM 62, sorry, you can turn left heading 260 degrees to stand.
Let's have a look through our after rate. So our gear is up, we've engaged the autopilot, we'll go and get the auto brake to off. Engine start switches go to off. Get our heading bug round. Come and catch up on the chat in a moment. Be us levelling off now at 4,000. Right, where did we get to? Gear lever, we've used the TCA pack.
32 Hotel November, climb now, flow 70.
Right, that was 70, Shanix 32 Hotel November. Gear lever off, runway turn off the lights, we can go and get to off now. We've retracted our flaps and we haven't passed our transition altitude. We have passed transition altitude, so let's switch that to standard. I'll go and have a quick look outside.
Director, return jet 1123, approaching 3,300. Jet 177 X-ray Stansted radar, hello, roger. Shanix 32 Hotel November, contact London Control 120.025, goodbye.
120.025, thanks ever so much, Shanix 32 Hotel November.
KLM 662, speed 165 until 40 DME, you've gone through the localizer, are you able to establish again?
8.1.125.
London Control on 134.125, bye.
Loads of control on today.
8 Yankee November, no further ATC, Monaco Unicom, bye bye.
With the Unicom situated, go to Yankee November, bye bye.
London, very good afternoon, Shanix 32 Hotel November, flight level 70, inbound Nugbo.
Shanix 32 Hotel November, London Control, climb flight level 120.
Flight level 120, Shanix 32 Hotel November.
London Control, Neptune 2 Alpha is vacated now.
Neptune 2 Alpha, roger, contact ground, 121.9, bye-bye.
Perfect, 121.9.
Okay, so, I was going to say hello. Let me turn down ATC just a tiny bit so that we can have a chat.
London Good Day, looks here for 884 flight level 39, is written bond, Hotel Canova. Bugs Air 4884,
Okay, so
London Control,
Aussie,
Roger,
do I know when
climb,
flying the Neo,
disregard.
filling out the approach data, how do I know what the radio is? It's on the chart. Sounds we've got Navigraph up. I was
London
going to turn that off
Charlie
now.
Mike, Charlie Mike, inbound Telba, flight level 330, descending 200.
And I'll make this chart a bit bigger.
London Control, hello, it's the
On this chart, you can see it's the minimum, where it says straight in landing towards the bottom. So for Menorca, it's that 485495
Gatwick,
element.
descend when ready, flight level 150, and by that level for Kidley, Golf Charlie Mike.
Good afternoon, Wickham 22.
Harry, how are you? I am very well. Lovely to see you.
And requesting clearance to Aberdeen.
Let's get the range out on this a little bit.
Airways at Ixura, Daventry.
Wickham 22, London Control, good afternoon. Hello, John.
Let's get our speed up.
Could you refile, please?
Of course I will. Stand by one. Thank you.
Right, we could just put ourselves into VNAV, and then our speed will set automatically.
Shuttle 7 Papa London Control, hello.
Didn't fancy joining us for a trip to France, Harry?
Hotel arrival for Heathrow. Hotel,
Hopefully the sound's working alright now, and this is a better balance, but let me know if you need me to change it again.
Hello, Jet 117 X-ray, flight level 70.
Jet 117 X-ray, London Control, hello. Climb now, flight level 120.
120, 7 X-ray.
Chanex 32 Hotel November, climb flight level 160.
Flight level 160, Chanex 32 Hotel November.
London Control, good day, Ryanair 1 Charlie Golf, flight level 360, squawk in 6653, 50 miles to bottom.
Ryanair 1 Charlie Golf, London Control, roger.
Flown in 3 weeks. Come and join us. You can do what you always used to do and intercept us halfway. Take off from somewhere like Southampton and you'd be alright.
Send flight level 80 level bobbing for United.
Or is Mrs. Harry with you?
Chanex 39 Mike Alpha, London Control, you on frequency?
And London 22, you should have the flight guide now.
Chanex 9 Mike Alpha.
Did that make sense, Aussie boy? We can have a look at it again when we've cleared ATC, if you want. I don't think there's any ATC on over France, so we have loads of time when we can chat. Let's just have a look at what ATC we have got. I suspect we're going to go over to Unicom after this controller.
Shuttle 7 Papa, when ready, descend flight level 150, be level by Sopic.
Descending for level 150 by Sopic.
Radio check for Virgin 123, please.
Let's go and have a look, because it's a bit noisy when we put the outside view on. So, ooh, like that. Have a look at that view for a bit. It's cloudy. I can confirm that is accurate.
Inbound Nilon. Bearing 362, London Control, roger. Golf Bravo, Oscar Juliet Sierra, cleared to transit the Luton control zone north to south. Via the Golf Bravo, Oscar Juliet Sierra, London.
Shall we? I think we'll go and get our seatbelt signs off now.
Golf Bravo, Oscar Juliet Sierra, cleared to transit the Luton control zone north to south via the Perton VRP, not above altitude 2,500 feet on the QNH 1019.
Clear to transit the Luton control zone. Not above 2,500, QNH 1019 via Perton Golf Juliet Sierra.
Golf Juliet Sierra, correct. Wickham 22, London Control, good afternoon.
VFR flyers all around.
To Aberdeen.
Packed your flights and equipment away, that's heresy. Never thought you would do such a thing. Devastated. Fantastic control going on at the moment, by the way, for those who are listening. Centre controllers giving brilliant VFR clearance.
Welcome to 2, read back correct, runway 19 for departure.
You can stay on your chair, baby.
Welcome to 2, we're
Hello, traffic. What? Oh, that's alright. Right, has that traffic cleared? Are you getting a better room when you move, Harry? Also, Harry, why aren't you subbed? Is Hina subbed? Yeah, Hina is subbed. He subbed on this stream. That's fine. Why isn't Harry subbed? Not being here is not an excuse. What I'll just pull up and show us while we've...
Channel 32 Hotel, correction, try that again. Channel 32 Hotel November, climb flight level 210.
Flight level 210, Channex 32 Hotel November.
United 923, contact London Control, 134.125.
34, 125 for United 923.
Channel 56, hello, requesting ISR clearance to Bilbao, France.
Where?
Channel 56, I don't have a flight plan for you. Where are you currently? Channel 56, I don't cover Bristol unfortunately, so we'll be with you at 122 less for late.
Okay, thank you.
London Wickham 22 is on the ground at Oxford requesting taxi cabs.
For interest for people, this is MSFS on pretty much its lowest graphic settings.
Point for runway 19.
I think it's still pretty impressive.
19 Wickham 22.
So let's have a quick look on the chart at our routing so you can see what we're doing. So we're just making this turn now, so out of Stansted. We routed pretty much directly west over to Silver. We're now making a south turn. We're going to head down over kind of west of London, down to Goodwood. Our route is slightly different because we got a reroute from ATC, but actually it didn't change very much. So we're going to head pretty much directly south now. If I show you on the other map, give you a bit of an idea of where we actually are. And that is the world map.
Charlie Mike, contact London Control, 134.
Satellite that I want? No, it is not satellite that I want. Oh, that looks horrible.
London Control, 134.125 for Golf Charlie Mike. Thank you very much.
Zoom in and get some place names. So there we are. So we're passing kind of just over sort of the Cotswolds at the moment, not far from Oxford.
My airspace, 1 to Unicom, bye-bye.
Over to Unicom, Channex 32 Hotel November, thanks ever so much. That was the one I wanted.
Right, 1 Charlie Golf, so further ATC, monitor Unicom, bye-bye.
Monitor Unicom, round out of 1 Charlie Golf, right.
And now we get some peace. So we're going to pass down here. So Cowley is kind of just off sort of Reading way, and then we're going to keep going south, and then pass effectively over kind of Southampton, Bognor Regis area, near to the greatest city in the world, Portsmouth, and then we will pass over into French airspace. Yeah, over France, it's pretty much a direct south route that we're going to follow. So west, that's Paris, so you can see, so we'll go west of Paris, all the way down over France, then make a little bit of a right hand turn straight over east of Barcelona to come in for our final route into Menorca. So we'll switch the charts off for now. Route over to good. Backseat flying, what did I say that you said no it's not to? struggling to think what that might have been a reaction to. Okay. Clearly wasn't anything too dreadful then. It's really annoying, most of the roads in Wales have changed to a 20. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I wonder how much people actually pay attention to it. Challenge you have whenever you set things that people disagree with is that they just ignore them. So, having a 20-mile-an-hour limit will only work if people buy into it. Shall we, now that we're on Unicom, we can get ourselves up to our cruise altitude. So I think from memory we've got a bit of a step climb today. So we are 290 as far as Vapid. Let's go and start getting ourselves up to there. Then once we pass Vapid, we'll finish our climb and we'll get up to flight level 370 from there. The only thing I can think you'll know it's not comment might have been to is when I said that this view doesn't look too bad on the lowest level of graphics. Backseat. Which, I mean, you might have been disagreeing with me or you might have been agreeing with me. Right, Hina's heading up to cruise, he's not doing a step climb, he's going straight up. Howden has cameras everywhere. Going to work is the longest journey ever. Did I tell you about my new car, Harry? We haven't spoken for ages, so I might not have done, but I think I just ordered it when we last spoke. There's screenshots in the Discord. Let's go and have a look at the Discord. There's me doing the GSX dance in the background. It's a lovely Hina. Very nice. How's your flight going, Hina? So, let me see if I can send you a link, Harry, to what I got. I bought myself one of these. And have to admit to loving it. The only problem is, so we just went to south of France. And like, I'm used to hiring a car when you go abroad, and that's fine. Like, I drive once a year when I'm abroad, easy. What I'm not used to is coming home and getting straight into a different car, and suddenly discovering that, like, oh, it's got really different sensitivity. So I went to brake in the same way as I pulled out of the road last weekend, having just got home, and the car just didn't stop. It's just like, oh, nearly smashed into the traffic. So, right, now that we're on Unicom and now that we're heading up towards cruise, let's first of all say hello to the 10 people that are watching us. Thank you ever so much for joining. If you don't know the Aviators channel, then there's 6 of us that stream on the channel. Hina is one of them, who's in the chat with us. Harry's in the chat with us as well. We all do slightly different things. There's a number of us of VATSIM controllers. So you'll regularly see us controlling. I'm an S1, I'm almost at the top of the S2 list. You've got Spoonie, who usually streams on a Monday, a Tuesday and a Thursday, who's also an S1. Impulse, or Dan, is an S3. And opens up areas like Heathrow as well as some of the director positions. Hina does some amazing DCS stuff sometimes on the channel as well, which is brilliant, and Harry studying for his PPL and works in the aviation industry. I don't know whether he'd want me saying exactly more than that. So there's a fantastic assortment on the channel. We've got a Discord and we've got a YouTube. On the YouTube, all of our streams go up so that you can catch them if you have missed them. I also upload onto the YouTube once every couple of weeks some videos from real world plane spotting. I was at Stansted last Thursday, so there's a video going up in approximately 2 hours, which is my recordings from Stansted. If you want to see a little bit of that, I caught the Emirates 777 departing on its flight out to Dubai. Had a couple of biz jets, one of the Air Charter Scotland Embraer Legacies and one of the Ryanair Learjets, as well as, I think in an hour I managed to collect every single one of the Ryanair colour schemes. I had Ryanair in the normal colour scheme, I had one of the Buzz, I had one of the Malta Airs, and I had a Lauda A320, so pretty much the full set of Ryanair's collected while I was out. Let's just remind myself. Right, I think where I was doing my step climb is no longer in our flight plan, so I'm just going to get us up to flight level 370 now. Get us up to our final cruise. Not flown DCS in ages, how come, Hina? You were losing interest or not had the time? Been busy with one of your games, haven't you, that you've been working on?
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be passing through with food and drink. Please check the magazine in front of you for the full menu as well as our amazing duty-free offers. Thank you.
Let's get ourselves up to 370. I hadn't quite twigged that we weren't climbing, so let's start doing that now. Let's get our heading bug round as well, because we've turned since we last adjusted it. There we go. So our flight time today should be 2 hours, so we should have around about an hour and 35 minutes left of our flight this afternoon. "60-hour work weeks. Holy Christ. That's not a lot of fun. Sorry to hear that, mate. When you have time, you'd rather get out or be with the wife. Well, that's lovely. Don't know if mine heard that. Harry's going out to Toulouse next year. That is amazing. I nearly won the debate when we were out in Saint-Tropez. Sorry, Harry, Saint-Tropez. For us to do a trip over to Toulouse. Pretty much just to go and see the Airbus factory. I did not win. I tried. So there we go, we're leaving the UK behind. Southampton off to our left. Are you slapping yourself in your face, baby? She's being a very good girl. She's sat next to me watching her iPad so well. My co-pilot. I've got her. She's only 2.5. She's already told me her career is going to be a pilot. She's going one better than I am. So, while we've got a little bit of peace, so let's have a chat about some of the big news that's come out over the last couple of weeks. So the main thing is Builds working on an A320neo, which I very much did not see coming. That's a bit of a shock. Having thought about it a bit, I think it does make sense. If you look at what they did with their A310, Asobo paid them, I'm sure, pretty well to develop an A310 for the simulator. We all got a fantastic freeware aircraft in return for it, and that probably gave them, what, 50% of the progress they needed to get the A300 into the simulator, which they're clearly going to make a killing on when they release it, because it's going to be the first kind of proper commonly used freighter, I suspect, to release. I know there's the 738, but not that many 738 freighter operators around. Whereas DHL still fly their A300s into all the big European hubs on cargo flights. UPS out in the States make good use of the A300 as well. So, I mean, I think they're going to make a killing when they release it. And it might well set them up. Maybe they'll bring their Beluga across. So, I think their logic is probably the same in doing the 320neo. Like, if Asobo have paid them really well to do an A320neo to sit in MSFS 2020, well, that's most of the work done to also do a 321neo. And if they're the first group to get a 321neo released, they'll smash it on it. Harry, you're on double money for 4 weeks, only working 4 days a week in 5-star accommodation. I don't get 5-star accommodation when I go away. I mean, don't I work in the bit that's like supposed to have this stuff? What am I doing wrong? I need to come and join your apprenticeship. France's Insight, everybody. No news from PMDG or Aerosoft on their long haulers. No. I'm a bit. I think the Aerosoft is a bit worrying, isn't it? Like, it's hard to know exactly what's going on with it, but with so much of their team leaving, it's a little bit concerning. And it's hard to know whether I think we're going to see anything from them, in honesty. I think they'll get something out, but I mean, they had that big kind of transparency push, didn't they, to put out the website that would update on what was going on. Have they put anything on it since they did that? Have a quick look. Google Aerosoft A330 MSFS. Find their webpage for it. Dev updates. Oh. Right, what did they put out? They put something out on the 21st of September. Talking about paint kit. And giving you a chance to vote what liveries you would like to see. I've seen some of these already in screenshots. Like, hang on. Why are we voting on liveries they've already done? You can have a say in which liveries are included. The list includes liveries from some of the most iconic airlines, past and present. Actually, while people are interested, for anybody who wants to see where I'm reading, I'll link in the chat. Hello to the 12 people that are viewing, welcome aboard. We're just approaching our cruise on our flight down to Menorca. We're in the PMDG 738. We are just about to cross over into France. I did not install the world update for. Actually, I think I forgot to install the Spain one, which is a bit of a shame. Heading bug. So let's get back. So they put together a kit. Actually, I can probably bring this up so that you can see it. Let's pop it up on screen. So this is their latest update blog, which is just vote for your favourite liveries. So what have they offered? Can I vote on multiple? Have a look at which ones of these I'd be interested in. Air Canada, Turkish, Air China, Virgin. Grandeur, Transat, and Aeroflot are the ones I'd want. Okay, alright, we've done that. So, this isn't... So that's their original log. So let's have a look at their update. Ecam has undergone rigorous improvements to enhance its logic and display. MCDU and FMS have seen several updates. No brain. Future outlook. Ongoing development aims to introduce further refinements, more autopilot functionality. They continue to prioritise feedback from a team of real pilots. So the thing that seems to most worry people about it, where is it? Still finalising the feature set. Familiarise yourself with the handling. Under certain circumstances you'll have to fly manoeuvres that are facilitated by additional systems that will not be available from day one. That's the message that concerned people the most. It was generally interpreted as probably either meaning holding or RNAVs. So, I don't know. It still feels quite a long way off, doesn't it? And I mean with PMDG you can just never tell. Yeah, it can't be that difficult to offer clean and dirty versions. So like, I used to do model railway stuff when I was younger, and that was just like moving into a time where when you bought them you could either buy them clean or weathered. Like, it's just a little bit of additional paint. So like, surely developers could do the same when they put their aircraft out. It shouldn't be that hard. Go and have a look at the outside of the plane for a bit. That's not good. I wanted external. If I go back in free camera drone, there we go. That was weird. Quite sure why it did that. Working anyway. Phoenix has dense wear and tear in its modelling. Yeah, the Phoenix is really nicely done, in fairness. On the PMDG, I mean, who knows, right? I assume at some point we will start seeing some 777 previews soon. Be lovely, but it's really hard to know the status of the PMDG. I have a theory that they are working quite hard on getting a max out as well, and just haven't really said anything about it. But I mean, it can't be that difficult. And I think the 737 line probably sells better for them. The long haul line does. So lots of people won't be that interested in flying long haul. Like, it's going to sit in front of the sim for 7 hours plus. So I think they're probably looking at getting a max out soon as well. And I mean, maybe one day we'll see an EFB, who knows? So things that are coming soon though, which I am excited about. What I think is going to be the first one chronologically is the SimWorks Studios Pilatus PC12, which a little bit niche, but I'm really excited for. It's one of those things since I started going down to Biggin Hill, bits of plane spotting. I quite like the PC12s, they're good fun. And they look like they've done a really good job modelling those. If anybody's not seen, they've been given access to Fly 7 training package up in Lausanne, and they are modelling every single one of the Fly 7 fleet individually, which is a strange fleet. Like, it's a kind of weird. I don't really fully understand how it works, but they work on a kind of like shared ownership pooling basis. So lots of different owners across the aircraft, but they're basically commonly operated by Fly 7, my understanding. So like all of the British ones are owned by a company called Raven Air, I think, but they seem to get operated by Fly 7. But it opens up some interesting stuff, because they're the sort of thing that's quite often used if somebody wants to do a business flight out of, I don't know, a Fair Oaks or a Blackbush. You quite often see them being done by the PC-12s. So they open up some interesting options. So I'm quite looking forward to that. We're in an ad break. Welcome back from the ad break. So, did we say? So Harry says there's lots of Raven Airs out of Liverpool. You hear them all the time on frequency. You're having a flying lesson. Yeah, that's It's one of those when I only used to go to the big airports. I didn't realise quite how many PC-12s there were around the UK, and how much they were used. But they're actually really common. EFB, I don't get why it's taking that long. So the hilarious thing I think with the PMDG EFB is that they spent all this time trying to get JavaScript to talk to HTML or whatever the hell it was, so that they could have it working the way they needed on Xbox. And then apparently Asobo have now put what they needed to make them talk to each other into the base code, and they didn't need to do all that work. That EFB is going to be perceived as such a white elephant when it comes out, because it's like it's taken so long and it's been built up so much that frankly it can now be nothing but a disappointment. It's going to have to be the best EFB there's ever been. Like, how much can you innovate into an EFB that's going to like blow people away? I don't think they're even trying to. TBM 850, is that a SimWorks Studios one, Hina? Hello to the 12 people we've got watching us at the moment. Welcome aboard, hope you're enjoying the flight. We are, let's have a look at where we are. At the moment we are kind of just west of Paris at the moment. Inbound to, if I can find out what that VOR is, the legal VOR, that doesn't help me. On our way down to, I believe, sunny Menorca. There should be a nice little route in for Menorca today. So I had a quick, I've not flown into Menorca before, had a quick look at the charts yesterday evening. It's pretty much, if we're on runway 19, it's pretty much almost a straight in approach. If we're on 01, then we have to almost fly past the airport, circle back on ourselves. In order to pick up, there's an ILS on both ends, whichever one it is. Hopefully, a nice little arrival down into Menorca. I always buy myself something at the end of the month for the flight sim, just to add a bit to it. I did admittedly buy the EGSS Stansted yesterday, ready for this flight. That in VFR I've got a sale on at the moment, and I keep almost buying that Latin VFR A318. Phoenix are bringing the 319 and the 321 for Christmas. I've always had a soft spot for the 318, and I'm guessing they're not going to do one. So the idea with the Horizon add-on, like, it looks like a really good aircraft. It looks like it's effectively the fly-by-wire in terms of functionality. The fly-by-wire is a great aircraft. I love flying in the fly-by-wire, and I just want to do the old British Airways route out of city. Stop over at Shannon, refuel, and then head over to JFK. And I don't think we'll ever get a high fidelity A318 for the sim. So I think the Latin VFR with the Horizon add-on is as close as we will probably get. What it's worth, I feel for fly-by-wire with Vinny Builds doing the 320 Neo. I'm sure they've reacted to it. I haven't read to see it, but with all the work they've put in, it feels a little bit of a shame. In some ways, the Innie builds are going to come in and possibly sort of just trump it. I imagine they'll now just focus all their efforts on the A380. I wonder if they were told that it was being done in advance. Do a quick reminder of a plug. I want to give our YouTube another bit of a plug. There's a link just gone in the chat down at the bottom for our YouTube, but please do check out the YouTube. If you're not already subscribed, if you could subscribe, that would be a massive help for us. Even if you just pop one of our videos on 5 minutes in the background, if you could drop it a like, that would really help. Like, the YouTube is really growing nicely at the moment with nearly up to 300 subscribers. We've added 50 of them in the last couple of weeks, and we have to get to 500 to be able to start monetizing, which is a really big step for us on YouTube. We've been delighted with all the support we've had here on Twitch, but we would love to get the YouTube going a little bit more as well. So if you can help us out, if you're not subscribed, go and like a video, that would be amazing. Going live at 6 o'clock today is my latest plane spotting video, which is from Thursday from Stansted. Got, as I said before, it's got the Emirates 777 departing, it's got all the different Ryanair colour schemes, it's got the Pegasus 321 Neo, and a couple of biz jets, all filmed within the space of an hour while I was on my way up to a meeting on Thursday. You know, I thought your IRL sim video was brilliant, mate. Looked like you had a fantastic time. Looked really, really good. How did you find it? Looked like it, because it was quite a long trip. Was it down in Newcastle that you had to go through? I've done the 737 sim in Peterborough. I got it as a birthday present. Really enjoyed it. But it was at a time when I didn't really know the workings of the 737 because it's before the PMDG had come out. So it was fascinating. I also massively balled it up. Because I'd never worked with rudder pedals before, so I didn't have the feel for them. I thought I was pushing them and I wasn't, I just veered off the runway. But because it was still COVID, they were very understanding. They weren't super booked, so they extended my session so that I could do the flight I'd planned to do and then do a second approach. And if anyone's not, I mean, they are really good fun. We were joking. I can't remember if you were in the. I can't remember which chat it was in. I think it was on Discord. That we should set up our own aviators once. I didn't know. What's the one in Glasgow? Is it 737 or Airbus? Somebody knows a way to make that view less loud, then I could have it on the external view and actually speak to you. They've got a full motion Cessna. Ow. Know that at all? That's very different. I've one of my university clients is a university that offers a PPL. As part of it, they do a degree in aviation, and they've got a Cessna simulator in the university. And I keep saying that I need to nag them to get me to go and have a go on it, and I do actually need to do that. I actually am out working with them at the moment. So that reminds me. I'll chase that when I go and see them next week. So going back to the news, let's see if I can find it. I think they did it on Twitter. Pyrigi have teased their next airport. I refuse to call it X. See if we can find it. So this is the tease of the next Pyrigi airport. Look who the top post underneath that is. I actually didn't know that was going to be the case. All the speculation that that's Luton. I don't know Luton clearly well enough to know what at Luton that would be if it is. What I have seen it speculated that Pyrigi would do Luton before. And wouldn't it be amazing if they did? Luton is the last London airport that is waiting on a high fidelity rendition. The FS 2000 or whatever they're called version was pretty weak by all accounts. So for us to get a decent Luton would be a game changer for me. That would mean that we would have all of the London airports I want to use modelled. I think there's a Farnborough. I need to get out and get some Farnborough recording in. But we would then have Heathrow, Gatwick, Stansted, Luton, Southend, Biggin and Farnborough. And Pyrigi always do a fantastic job. So, and we can be pretty confident that it would be done well if they do. Who did the Farnborough Swampy? Is it Pilot Plus? Somebody's working. I thought somebody had released Paris. I know somebody's working on it. You have a search on FS Elite quickly. It's Taxi to Gate that were working on it. I'm just trying to check. Doesn't look like it has been released. No. So when's this post from? February 2023. Announced they were doing Pontypridd, then I have no idea how to pronounce that, then Orlando, then Charles de Gaulle. So it's on its way, Hina. Burning blue, okay, fair enough. Why exclusively in the US? Because you end up flying late at night. So have a quick update on progress. For those who are interested, we are... where are we? We are just approaching the Amboise VOR. Got quite a way to go. We're about halfway through France now. And we still have no French ATC on. Look like there's any Spanish ATC on at the moment either. There was a like Palmer low-level control on when I looked earlier. Fair enough. I need to learn American ATC kind of phraseology and how it works. That's the main thing. I was planning to fly across the pond this year. Thought I'd do it. I thought I'd kind of finally worked up the confidence, but it clashes with a Pompey game. I think I'm probably not going to. There's a really good it's a really good program of events coming on VATSIM over the next few weeks. Let's just have a quick look at what VATSIM's got coming up. So next Saturday is the North Sea Shuttle between Edinburgh, Glasgow and Copenhagen. Coincides with the 24 hours of VATSIM event. Well, then I think the week after is Cross the Pond. No, that's a lie. Maybe there's nothing on the 14th. Thought there was. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. There's nothing on the 14th. Then on the 21st is the Heathrow Express between that's out of Istanbul and into Heathrow. And then on the 28th it's Cross the Pond, and Heathrow is one of the arrival airports for Cross the Pond. So I have signed up to control for the North Sea Shuttle next weekend. So if you want to come and have a fly between Scotland and Copenhagen, then hopefully I will be online for some of it. I'll let people know if I get a shift, when that shift is and where it is. Well, fantastic time to be doing some simming. French ATC doesn't exist, it can't hurt you. It's occasionally on here. The problem is it's one person. Shall we, let's start having a look at what we're expecting for our arrival. So let's have a look at the winds over at Menorca. Airports, Menorca, weather. So the METAR, I'll drop the METAR in the chat so that you've got it as well, Hina. (170) at 7 knots, varying between 140 and 200. Good visibility. There's a few clouds at 3,300 feet, and it's a balmy 28 degrees in Menorca today. So we'll expect a runway 19 arrival today. Go set that up on my flight. That means we're going to be the Sargo 5 Foxtrot arrival, and we'll expect the ILS Yankee into runway 19. And we can have a quick look at that on the chart. So drag that down, pop this over it. It's a fairly straightforward arrival in, so we need to be below flight level 180 at Sargo, where we can get down to 4,000 feet, and we've got long. So it looks like we'd want to be below that anyway if we're aiming to hit about 4,000 feet by this waypoint. We route directly into this waypoint 15 miles from the Mahon VOR, then a 13-mile arc to take us round to Donav, which is the entry point for the ILS. Then have a look at the ILS. So we join the ILS at 3,000 feet at Donav, down to 2,500, level off, then down again to 1,900 feet, and then finally pick up the ILS at 1,900 feet. At this waypoint 5.4 miles out of Mahon VOR. And it's a displaced threshold by 50 feet. So, plenty of opportunities for me to screw something up in that case. As well, on the assumption we're not going to get any control, we'll go and pop some of that in. So let's go and pop in our arrival. We are going to be ILS Yankee for 19, Donav transition, and that was the, I've forgotten what that was, it was the Sargo 5 Foxtrot arrival. Okay. Execute that, have a look at that in our flight plan. Sargo 180 or below. 3,000 feet at Donav, 2,500 Charlie Foxtrot 19, and 1,900 to establish on the ILS. Is that actually an above, or is it just 3,000? Have a look at that ILS chart again. Navigraph, or minimize Navigraph again. Go in and we'll put our course and our ILS frequencies in when we get a little bit nearer to doing the approach. Ina's going to fly the VOR and then visual, because he's far more confident at this than I am. And frankly far more skilled at it than I am. I struggle, my memory is that I struggle with the 737. I find it very kind of light. I think it's probably that the fly-by-wire is heavy, and I'm just so used to it. But I find the PMDG is quite kind of twitchy and light on landing. That person undertake us? Or are we catching them up? Or did we just turn to be near them? Or even is that Hina? Go and have a look on VatSpy and see who that is. Oh no, that's Chanex 9 Mike Alpha, who's flying from Manchester to Parma and is going quite considerably faster than me. He's clearly not using a cost index of 8. Ina, on the other hand, is matching speed almost perfectly. Can't quite see you, Hina. And Ben Cook flying at the wrong altitude though. At 36,000. Oh no. Take it back, he's descending. I would have thought we were a long way. Maybe he descended just so he could come past. See how far we are from top of descent. 260 miles. So I think probably finishing up our news bit. So a few more interesting things on their way, hopefully coming this side of Christmas. The Unibuild A300. A developer that's gone quiet is Just Flight. Heard anything from them for a long time now. On their RJ, which I'm particularly excited for. Quite looking forward to the Fokker 70 and 100 as well, but again, been pretty quiet lately. So maybe I'm hopeful we'll get the RJ soon. I know they said it was a bigger project than it sounded to convert the BAE 146, but working on that for a long time now. And of course, probably the one that lots of people are most excited for is Phoenix, getting us version 2 and getting us the 319 and the 321. Hopefully all this calendar year we should have version 2, Block 2 I think they call it, of the Phoenix out at the end of this month, and then aiming to have the 319 and the 321 this calendar year, which would be phenomenal if they achieve it. Welcome, hello to the 11 of you that are watching at the moment. I hope you're enjoying the stream. We're about halfway through our flight down to Mallorca. We're cruising over France at the moment. And we're chilling out on bombs. Say hello in the chat if you're not already following. That's fine. That person is going up and down at a heck of a rate. What on earth was going on there? Yeah, sorry, if you are in the chat, if you aren't following us, then do follow us. Just say hello if you follow us. Let us know how your day is going. Ben's been flying, if you're controlling, let us know what you're up to. We are storming our way up the follower count, which has been amazing. Is he back? Apparently exactly level. That was a bit close. Blimey. I don't quite... Is it the same? It can't be the same person who was going up and down at ridiculous altitude changes. Let's have a look. So that was an EasyJet heading from Paris to Madrid that just crossed us. That A321 that went underneath us has suddenly slowed down phenomenally. Now only doing 427 knots. They were doing 490 a minute ago. Which is presumably why we now appear to be about to go over the top of them. And Unfortunately, there is no longer ATC covering the north offline. Armour approach is on. Maybe we should divert. And tower. I'm gonna pop it on the exterior view while I just grab a drink. I will be back in a minute. Okay, hello. I'm back. Don't know whether you could hear the iPad playing in the background or what children's stream it was on. In the absence of fun aviation things to talk about, I'm going to have to subject you to talking about something almost as exciting, which is Portsmouth being top of League One. Could it be more amazing than that? Frick me, we've actually finally got a decent team. It's amazing. Haven't had a chance to check how the Ryder Cup's got yet. I'm assuming that we've done alright. And there's not been some monumental cock-up and we've thrown it away. I love the Ryder Cup. Only golf I watch. I have the attention span of a gnat nowadays when it comes to sport. The Ryder Cup is just so much fun. Go back and have a look at the internal view again. See if I can get back. Oh, we're taking past this guy. England are doing well in the Rugby World Cup. I thought about going when I was out in Saint-Tropez to go to the England-Japan game because I was there when that was on. It was 300 euros for a ticket. I just felt like too much. Otherwise I would have really liked to have gone. Also, Saint-Tropez to Nice was a bugger of a drive. Like, it's a really short distance, but it wasn't fun to drive it. It's the first time I've ever driven in France. I've only been to France a couple of times. And that's the first time I've driven out there. So the first time I had to go on a motorway toll road, and I was completely unprepared for how they work. Like, why do only half of them actually have a thingy for you to pay? I assume people have some kind of like tag system or something like that. Drove up to the first set of toll barriers and like there was just nothing there except for a reader. I just happened to spot that in the one to the left of me somebody was using a contactless, so I had to reverse out of the toll barrier, go into the one to the left, so that I could actually pay to get onto this bloody motorway. Not impressed. But yeah, England doing very well. Shockingly well. I'm still not particularly convinced that I think we are going to get that far. But I mean, that Argentina game was amazing. So that's what I had. So we came out of Nice airport and you could just drive straight onto it, but then like part way along the motorway there was a barrier bit and you had to just use your contactless to pay to get out of it. And that was the one where I got stuck, where I had to like reverse out and then go in. Then a bit further down we got to another set of barriers where I had to take a ticket. Then when we came off the motorway I paid with my contactless again. And then we just drove down the normal roads down to Saint-Tropez. And then like coming back, the sat-nav sent us through the mountains, which in a people carrier with 4 people with loads of suitcases, not the most fun drive I've ever done in my life. Maybe I shouldn't have been, but I was surprised at how expensive they were as well. So I think I ended up paying about €16 to do, I don't know, 45-50 minutes on the motorway to get out of Nice and to wherever it was that I came off it. Which felt like a lot. The problem is the coast roads are so snarled up, like not realistic to drive along the coast to get back. I mean that's fair, and you're clearly a far better driver than I am, Swampy. But I just like, I don't know. Where am I now? I assume you mean in my flight rather than where am I sat at home. I'm sort of level with Bordeaux, so I'm in the Bordeaux FIR. I'm east of Bordeaux. Go and find you a town name. The middle of nowhere would appear to be the answer. Gordon. Yeah, Bordeaux's the closest place I can find to where we are. So I'll show you on the map. Bring up Navigraph. There we go. That's our progress. I mean, apparently we're coming up on Toulouse. Maybe Navigraph just didn't want to show me it. I quite like this world map option. But it does pick some random cities, like the only city that it's decided to show. Oh no, it's showing 3. Florence, Bern and Le Mans. But not showing me, I don't know, I might, unless I'm past Paris, Barcelona, Madrid, Nice, Rome. Could it show me, I'm just trying to think, where's Geneva? Milan's up there. All these places it could think, but no. Most important places on this map are Le Mans and Bern. Yeah, I mean we're not too far from the French-Spanish border now. That's at kind of where Rocan and Giant are. Giant, I think, is the border point when we cross into Spanish airspace. Welcome back those who are on ad break, and welcome those who've come and joined us. Let's start with Tilted Blunder comes in just with pun of all puns. Very nice, I like it when God gives you limones. Brilliant. I have a satellite view on Navigraph. I mean I do, but that doesn't show me towns either, does it? This is what my satellite view looks like, you know. Not really any more helpful. Just tells me that it's green. Hate that view. Can I make it better? My knowledge. I do. I mean, the thing I do like in Navigraph now is this weather overview. Pop that on. I doubt it's going to show us very much. I assume the weather is clear. But yeah, this little weather, that's the first time where it's actually got some weather. Brilliant overview. Okay. Even the UK don't have any apparently. Have a look, and there's a bit out there. Have a look at cloud cover. That's got to have a bit, yeah. I like the cloud cover view. I like the radar view, which I think was actually still loading. I think if we give it a minute it'll find some rain over the UK. There we go. That's a super useful. I actually, in many ways, find it easier just to use VatSpy to work out where I am. Just find the nearest airport. The problem with Navigraph is it shows you so many airports. But you're right, we are just coming up on Toulouse. I can see Toulouse Airport, so yes, we're a little bit north of Toulouse. We'll do. Let's go and start having a look at some of the information about our arrival that we're going to need to pop in so that we've done it nice and early. So let's bring up the ILS chart for runway 19. And for that chart we're going to need to put the frequency in. Now I haven't flown the 737 for ages, so I'm going to need someone to tell me if I'm getting this wrong. But I'm going to pop the frequency in there, which is 111.5. That on both sides, so that's ready. And we're going to insert the course, which is 187 degrees, both of these. And the other thing we need to set up is our landing altitude, which is... where's airport? Elevation is 300 feet. Supposed to put steady one. Those are the big items we need to do in advance. Just go in the init ref page of the FS. Fair enough. Then in the FMD, that is our approach ref. We'll fill some of this out later because we'll probably still burn some fuel, so some of these might change. Now that looks okay. We're expecting an approach speed. We'll do a flaps 30 landing, so we'll expect this 141 knots. How are we doing? Around about 15 minutes from our top of descent. It's so much better to use the charts, Hina. At our top of descent, we'll set ourselves down to descend down to what should we set? We need to be below 180 is our first restriction, so we'll set ourselves down to flight level 100 initially. Hello to the Pyrenees. Yep, we're getting pretty close. They are visible. Is that... So that's what I was trying to work out, Hina, is whether that's not the mountains I could see from Nice or Saint-Tropez though, is it? Because that's... when you fly out of Nice, they often turn left kind of into Switzerland, go over the Alps, and then there's another mountain range that sits between the Pyrenees and the Alps, I think. Expecting 63.7 tons on landing, exiting at Charlie high speed. I am insufficiently confident in my abilities to do that level of planning. Just landing about as far as my objectives have got to so far. Been messaged asking to advise when I begin descending because I've got somebody directly underneath me. Right, it's the Massive Central, the oldest mountain in France, Clermont. Okay. And they literally called it Massive Central. West of the Alps you have the Ardèche Hills. So because one of the things that made our holiday tricky was that lots of the days, I mean the weather was pretty poor while we were out there, but lots of the days the forecast was that there were going to be thunderstorms, and you could see them bubbling up over the kind of mountain ranges the other side of the water. So we were looking out towards kind of Saint-Maxime and over that way towards Nice. But they never actually made it on any of the days over us, but they were kind of enough to build up the wind and cause a little bit of rain. I did enjoy yacht spotting in Saint-Tropez. I mean, so the people we spoke to, you never know whether this is true, and I know people exaggerate, and the people we spoke to said they'd never had September weather like they had while we were there. They were like, this is normally what the weather's like in November. I mean, that climate change, that's kind of the problem, right? It's pretty hard to predict when to go on holiday now. If you go in the middle of August, you get forest fires. If you go in September, you get torrential rain. I did enjoy going and seeing all the yachts though. 321 Neo below me is accelerated again. As I say, he was messaging me asking me to let him know when I begin descending. Fine, we can do that. Interesting station, Iberia IXX approach. Come on. Armour control Ibiza. What the IXX stands for. Oh, hello. Harry the Aviator, welcome aboard. Thank you for coming and following. Lovely to have you with us. We're not very far from our topper drop now as we head over towards Menorca. We've been enjoying a nice chilled flight from London Stansted. We're in the PMDG 737-800, taking some Jet2 holiday makers over to Spain to enjoy the last of the summer sunshine. Have a quick check how far we have got. We're about, I think, we were 60, just under 60 miles now from top of descent, about 7 minutes. In fact, we can see the top of descent markers come up now. So start dialing the descent in a little bit so that we make sure that we're ready to drop. What have you been up to this weekend, Harry? Hope you had a lovely weekend. Hope you got some flying or maybe some controlling in. So as I say, around about just over 5 minutes from top of descent. Let's see. No, that doesn't work in there, does it? Progress. So we're predicting 35 minutes to touchdown in Menorca. We had some fantastic control over at Stansted. The benefit of having Jamie flying. Ground we had Tower, Final and all online, as well as London. And it's been a lot calmer since. We've enjoyed a nice chilled little chat as we've flown over France. And as we turn now, just about to cross the French-Spanish border, head into Spanish airspace. another new follower. Welcome aboard to the Red Dragon 053. Thank you ever so much for following. Welcome to Spain, just about. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Hope you've had a lovely weekend. Let us know what you've been up to in the chat. Been flying, if you've been controlling. Love to hear how your weekend's been going. Thank you everyone for coming and supporting us here at Aviators TV. As we're just before we start descending, for those who are new, I'll give a bit of an introduction to us. There's 6 of us that stream on the channel. There's a fantastic variety of content that goes across the channel. Loads of flying streams, loads of controlling streams on VATSIM. Hina stopped recently his DCS, but I'm sure we'll get him back to it soon. And we've even got somebody who's studying for their PPL and works for Airbus as part of our streaming family. So there's a brilliant variety. If you do enjoy what you see, you want to keep in touch with us, then I'll pop a link to the Discord in our chat, and you can catch up with all of our content on our YouTube channel, where you will also see some additional content as well, in particular the real life plane spotting videos that I put out on the channel. I have recently put one up. There's a few from Heathrow on there, there's one from Biggin Hill on there, there's a few from London City on there, which is my personal favourite, and going live at 6 o'clock this evening is one from Stansted, filmed on Thursday. So let's get our heading bug turned around now that we've made our turn, and in a minute we'll start dialing in our updated altitude. So we're going to initially set our descent down to flight level 100. I mean, we're pretty much just going to have a straight descent all the way down to about 4,000 feet on our way down into Menorca today. It's a very long time since I've flown the PMDG, so the chances of this going well are slim, but we'll see what we can do. There's lots of ranting by Spoonie on this channel. Spoonie generally streams on a Monday, a Tuesday and a Thursday. He's not followed this schedule the last couple of weeks, but historically his schedule's generally been Monday controlling at Stansted, Tuesday flying, Thursday controlling at Gatwick. He rants on all of them. Gatwick is his worst. The pilot quality at Gatwick yesterday morning, by the way, was appalling. Like, disproportionately bad. Go and get our new altitude dialed in. Probably done that a bit early in practice, but that's alright. Newly appointed glider pilots too. Do you do a bit more gliding in the end, Hina? We'll let the ad break finish. Actually, Hina, you can still hear me, can't you? I remember you doing a bit of gliding when they updated the modelling on MSFS. Are you still doing it? Isn't that? I think that's one of the things they're looking to improve in MSFS 24, isn't it? Oh, you're doing real life gliding. Sorry, I didn't realise that was what you meant. Are we going to get a video with a GoPro attached to it sometime soon? Okay, welcome back if you are just returning from an ad break. So, let's just do a bit so Red Dragon, you need to buy the simulator, but installation is 160 gig. Has it really grown to 160 gig? It was like half of that when I bought this. That's astounding.
Traffic, Jet 117 X-ray, starting descent down to 130, Sago 5 Fox arrival, Minocar.
Menorca traffic, Chanex 32 Hotel November, beginning descent from flight level 370 to flight level 100. Right, what were we saying? So, yes, amazing that it's 170 gigs. So, how do I know the route of the flight? I'm guessing, so the place that I use to get my routings is, I will pop a link into the flight plan that I used for this flight. So I use that EDIGLA website in order to do most of my flight planning. There you can just search for city pairs or airport pairs, and it will give you real world flight plans between them. You can even request them, and I find their response rate when you request flight plans is pretty amazing. The vast majority of those I've requested, I've gotten them back. So that's what I personally use. What most people use is a website called SimBrief to generate flight plans for them. It has the benefit that if there isn't, say, real world ones that you can make use of, it will still work one out for you. Swampy, you've got everything installed. It's taking up 3/4 of a 1 terabyte hard drive. So, yeah. So because I'm doing this from a laptop, I have to work quite hard to keep my MSFS small enough that it can cope. So what I do, I delete stuff from my community folder as soon as I've used it. So I keep all of my like sceneries on a hard drive and only move into the community folders, the one I'm going to use. I don't keep the world updates installed. I've seen someone suggest as well that you can delete and uninstall all of the Asobo aircraft, so like all the little like GA stuff if you're not going to fly it. Apparently uninstalling it doesn't cause any issues and is quite a good way to free up space. We have now begun our descent down into Menorca. As a reminder of our requirements, let's pull our chart up so you can see it. So this is the chart for our arrival this afternoon. We're going to come in via Sargo, which is in the top left hand corner of the chart. Descending down course of 164 degrees, descending down to 4,000 feet or above at waypoint 15 miles out of the Mahon VOR. That is what it is. It's the Menorca VOR, sorry. We then pick up a 13-mile arc from... where is the arc? Anyway. We follow this arc round down to 3,000 feet at that point to establish at waypoint Donav, and then it's straight in for the ILS for runway 19. When we go onto the ILS, it's a bit of a step descent, so we're going to go down to 2,500 feet after Donav, then down to 1,900 feet after 10 miles out, 10.6 out from the Menorca VOR, and we'll intercept the ILS at 1,900 feet, follow it down on a course of 187 degrees, and we just need to be aware that it's a 50-foot displaced threshold for the ILS. So, all told, plenty for me to screw up. And the PMDG doesn't fly arcs very well. I think that's still the case. There's 16 of you watching me, soon to screw up my landing into Menorca. Wonderful. Get the METAR again. Okie dokie. second. Airports. That's an interesting METAR. That's the METAR at the moment, Hina. Variable at 5 knots, gusting to 16 knots. Interesting. No, better go and check what the transition level is. Haven't got a clue. Transition altitude is 6,000. I'm not going to worry about putting the winds in there. I didn't mean to do that. You're thinking about descending to runway 01. Shall we check what they're using IRL? No traffic IRL. Hang on a sec, let's find the last arrival. The last arrival was half an hour ago.
Jet 1173 is turning left, heading 120 for separation, Minoka traffic.
Thanks, Hina. So the last arrival was a little while ago, but they were still using 19 at that point. Christianam, welcome aboard, thank you for following. Lovely to have you as a member of the channel. We are just on our descent down into Menorca. I'm going to keep going with 19, Hina. I don't know how out of date the flight radar weather conditions are, but they're still showing 160 at 6. What did Swampy's TAF say? 090 at 5. Pretty much a crosswind. Alright. Would you like to switch to runway 1, Hina? I'm happy to do that. Right. Oh, now we're keeping 19. It's just about to change. Cool, okay. Glad to see you've registered on those sites, Red Dragon. I think you'll find those really helpful. What was I doing? I was putting descent winds in. Ah, that didn't work. Oh well.
And Alka traffic, Jet 1124 turning right, 150, speed 230 knots.
I didn't realise you were quite so close behind. You don't need to be from the UK for those sites, Red Dragon. There's tons of international stuff, and if they haven't got what you want, just request it, and you'll find often the requests are answered. They are still using 19 in real life, Nina. There's a BizJet just taxiing out to depart, and he's going off with 19. I don't know whether they have a preferential runway at Menorca. Right, I'm going to start thinking about a bit of an approach checklist. So, just to remind myself of the things I need to do. So, on descent, we've got our weather. Set the landing altitude. We set the ILS frequency and the course. We don't need wing or end anti-ice. Not below minimums for the altimeter yet. Brief the approach. I guess we could set the auto brake. Ready. You're welcome to go in front of me if you want, Hina. Been long enough that I'm happily dawdling along rather than rushing. I don't have particularly high hopes for this approach and landing. Start winding this in a little bit. What I do need to do is set my minimums. So my minimums for the ILS on 19 are 530. So go. And we're through flight level 200, so let's go and get our seatbelt signs on. We're 1100 feet above profile, fair enough. You're in the screen of new activities so long. Trying to think what you mean by that, Red Dragon. Where's the screen of new activities, sorry. Hina, the last time I flew the 737 might be that, like for a full flight, might be that time we flew up to Oslo together. Genuinely can't remember doing a flight in it since. I've been enjoying the ATR a lot. I haven't had many chances to fly lately, but I managed to teach myself the ATR in the last month or so. So I've been enjoying having something to fly in and out of city in. We didn't debrief what went wrong on my takeoff, for those who were here for it, which is a problem I have quite a lot flying the 737 with the Thrustmaster. Is that if the two throttle handles aren't perfectly aligned, it won't go into autopilot. Stand by 1 second. So what happened, I think, is as I was pushing forward on the thrust to try and get up to 50%, they weren't quite perfectly aligned, so it came out of auto throttle, which was fine. I just manually togered up. But I've had that problem in the 737 before. I think I had that problem when we did that flight over to Oslo. But yeah, it took me so long to learn the ATR because it's changed since people wrote checklists for it. So I found myself in this weird place where I was trying to follow a checklist and finding that I couldn't get out of hotel mode and couldn't get the prop brake working. But now that I've got it working, really enjoying it. We'll see. Ain't no land anywhere. Just check there's no control online. Palmer approach, Palmer Tower, Ibiza. Nope, we're all on our own. Right, I'm just updating my charts because I'd started switching everything over for a runway 01 arrival, so that's got all the correct charts back. It's not going to be a butter pull. The only plane I can butter is the fly-by-wire. Everything else I find super twitchy, and I find I end up slamming. So I'd have the ambulances and the chiropractors ready if I was you. Frankly, first of all, I've got to get myself in and established, which I've got to remember how to do, so not a given that that all goes well. What we'll do, let's go and we'll get this down to 4,000 feet. Get it continuing. Let's descend all the way down. Menorca traffic, Chanex, 3-2 Hotel November, crossing Sargo, descending altitude 4,000 feet for the Sargo 5 Foxtrot arrival, expecting ILS runway 19. Traffic. Yeah, I see, Paul, the problem I have is, like, for so long there was only the fly-by-wire that was worth flying. I got very good with it, and now I find every other add-on is so much more sensitive than the fly-by-wire is, so I do tend to struggle, but that's fine, it's all good.
Menorca traffic, Tomjet 117X, descending flight level 70.
Right, we've set ourselves down to an altitude now, so let's go and remind ourselves what the METAR was, so that we can pick up the QNH. QNH is 1022, so we'll come out of standard pressure, pop us up to 1022. Centered. What we might do, as we're descending pretty slowly, pop ourselves in vertical speed mode, Let's increase our rate of descent. We'll get down a bit early and then we might vector ourselves. So let's look to descend at about 1400 feet a minute. So welcome back from the ad break. We've just popped ourselves into vertical speed mode, and we're gonna vector ourselves a little bit to get onto final for our approach in a second. We're just going to keep it at 1400 feet a minute just so that we don't start picking up too much speed. In fact, I think we might go to 1300 feet a minute just to try and help the speed get down back to 240. Up a little bit. I will avoid using the brake if we can. Actually, just as a test, I don't know. Okay, so I'm just testing the speed brake with my Thrustmaster, so one gets it to... oh, that's quite handy. That actually works well. You can effectively arm it. Let's use that. We'll increase our rate of descent a bit. This... oh no, we have altitude constraint, haven't we? Set that to 1900, and then let's put ourselves on a heading. The left turn. Speed. Chanex 32 Hotel November, turning left heading 100 degrees, reducing speed 220 knots, then to established ILS runway 19. Actually, we probably don't need to turn quite that far. Let's make it heading a 115. Let's bring this course in so we can get a slightly better view. I don't know what screen you're seeing, unfortunately, Red Dragon. Trying to think what it might be. Should be able to start doing in a moment. It's bringing ourselves around onto a heading of about 160, and then to intercept the ILS. Start looking to bring our speed down. What we should be able to do, put ourselves into approach mode. That's going to hold the altitude at 1,900 now. You can see we're starting to bring in our localizer. Start bringing our speed back a little bit further. Okay, flaps 1. We need to go, we haven't selected our vertical speed. What are you doing? Remind me where we do that. Right, so we're going to be 140. Menorca traffic, Chanix 32 Hotel November established ILS runway 19. We'll start bringing the speed down to 180. Okay, next stage of flaps. So both autopilots engaged. Have a quick look at my checklist. So I've speed brake set. See, what we haven't done is put our lights on. Probably should do. Right. Armed approach mode with armed speed brake. Got ourselves down speed to 160. Flaps 5. And that's our glide slope. Perhaps 10. We're going to go speed down to 145 as our final speed.
Tomjet 117 is established on the localizer 12 DLE, Menorca.
Gear down. Another stage of flaps. My memory is the auto brake's not great on this, so let's go. We'll go an extra stage of auto brake. Go flaps 25, flaps 30. So that's pretty much configured. Oh, careful, baby. Denaria, don't stand. Let's go. Disengage the autopilot. Bit high.
500. 400. 300. Approaching minimums. 200. Minimums.
Overcorrected a tiny bit, so let's bring it back.
100. 50. 30.
Floating.
20. 10.
We were off the centre line, but that's not too bad. Try and get exit here so that Hina can come in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Menorca. Menorca traffic, Chanix 32 Hotel November vacated runway 19.
Menorca traffic, Tamjet 117 X-ray, short final 4 miles, runway 19, Menorca.
Right, I've got no idea where we park here, and we haven't got a scenery for Menorca, so let's get ourselves round. Okay, let's go and start doing a bit of clean-up, so we'll get our flaps up. Right, let's have a look through our checklist, look at all the things I didn't do. So, didn't put my engines into continuous mode. I should have done. I probably don't need to do that anymore. Just, everything else was set. So, aft landing flaps up, track for speed brake. Set up position lights to steady. You know, these lights come off, these lights come off, these lights come off, taxi lights come on. Where's Hina? Have I missed Hina landing? We'll try and go and get a view of Hina landing when he comes in. Oh, there he is, just touching down now. That view's no use. Sorry, Hina, we'll do our best to see you. Hina doing things the skillful way on his visual arrival. Beautiful. I will just have a quick look at the Menorca ground chart, so we're just going to turn in at Delta and park anywhere, basically. So back to our checklist. Go and get the APU on. Get the probe heats off. Start switch off. Cool. Okay. Let's see if the APU booted up yet. Yep. So get our APU bleed on. Let's get ourselves on to
Traffic, 123 is after runway Menorca.
Sorry for not having a look at the chat, guys. If any of you are chatting, I'll get us on to stand and then we'll catch up on the chat. I didn't have Volanta on, so I won't have a landing rate, I'm afraid. I'm assuming these are just a series of straight-in stands. Right, so we'll do a left here and we'll head over to what looks roughly like the main terminal. Oh, we've actually got stand numbers. Even have some air bridges on here, so we'll get onto one of these. So maybe not that one, we'll go a little bit further. If we can work out what the stand numbers are and get GSX booted up for it. Let's find a Menorca parking chart, parking stand. So we'll aim for stand 1-1. See. 8, 5.
The requested position is already assigned to another aircraft.
Hina, are you going on stand 1-1? Is that why? I'll go on 1-3. Can. Okay. What stands that? 1-7. Right, let's get ourselves in. Going here. It says 1-5, doesn't it? Are we going that one or? Oh no, we're going one more. It's going to take me longer to taxi onto Stan than it took us to fly to Menorca. Oh, it's diagonal, that's why it looks so weird. Done a dreadful job of that, Jesus. Also because I'm going fast. Okay, this isn't working. I'm on, round you go. Fly by wire could do it. Got it. I can't. Where we're going. Don't shout at me, lady. Oh well. I've done worse. Okay. Welcome to Menorca.
You need to stop the engines to request ground services.
Yeah, really? Okay. Better get the AP quick. Okay, let's see, we have a jetway. See if we can get the jetway on. Go and request a ground cart. Okay, let's have a bit of a count. Oh, we're on an ad break. Ads are snoozed for 5 minutes. Don't know how that happened, but amazing that it did. Right, let's come and say hello. Thanks, Paul. Actually, I was quite happy with that landing. Decent, I thought. Let's start the deboarding process. That's one of my better 737 landings. Happy with how that went.
The boarding requested.
As a generation gamer, am I happy for MSFS 2024? Kinda non-fussed, in honesty. It's fine. As far as I can see, the things that it is primarily aiming to provide are not aimed at simmers like me, and I think like many of us. I think MSFS 2020 is pretty well set up for those and could have been incrementally built upon. I think 2024 is going to bring lots of scenarios that will hopefully bring another generation of simmers, some of whom will come through to sim in this way as well, which will be good for the hobby. But I don't see myself doing like the scenario stuff very much. But who knows, maybe they'll fix like weather and stuff like that. Let's go and have a look in the drone cam. You know, if they can fix and make better things like the weather, then it could be pretty fun, and there could still be lots of benefit for it. So, I'm definitely not negative about it, and I think it helps mean that they will keep supporting the sim, which I mean is the most important thing. We don't want the sim to get abandoned, and anything that helps that, you know, if it brings them in the extra revenue they need to do that, and MSFS, in my view, still gets tarnished a little bit of a reputation from when it launched that is unfair. They have invested a huge amount in getting this sim to be as amazing as it could be. And the fact that they've been willing to pay, INI bills to do an A310 that they gave us for free, I think is awesome. So if they're going to keep being that committed, and if MSFS 2024 is what they need to keep being that committed, then fantastic. What a brilliant thing. So I'm not against it. It's a bit of a shame that we have to pay more money, but I'm sure I will upgrade. And hopefully they do include some nice things for those of us who are into the more kind of serious simming side. Heard there's new graphics. Yeah, I think they have been working on the graphics. But I think, actually I'm a little bit worried that my computer won't be able to handle it if they upgrade it too much. Hopefully they don't make it more about the Xbox than the PC. I'm not too worried about that. Like, fundamentally the base of it is going to be the same, isn't it? So I'm not too panicked, personally. I think it will be okay. Go and watch them unloading the baggage for a bit. I don't really see that MSFS 2020 is particularly detracted from for the fact that it's available on Xbox. Like, what in this sim would be different if it wasn't available on Xbox? So I don't know what focusing on the... I think focusing on the Xbox market actually means focusing on, like, the leisure market, doesn't it? Right. That's... Casual simmers bring a lot of money into this sim that mean that it's sustainable and it keeps going for those of us who are going to keep flying it for years and years. And fundamentally this simulator has, or this hobby, has got more people doing it than it's ever had. I got into this hobby with MSFS 2020, and if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be a VATSIM controller, and I wouldn't be doing flights like I've done today, and I wouldn't be on Twitch chatting to you guys. I personally think it's, unless you're super up on like the importance of like the procedures and the precise weather stuff, it's hard to argue that MSFS 2020 isn't leading sim, I view. 308 feet per minute, Hina. Good. Usually I'd be happy if I got that. As I say, that's one of my better landings. I was chuffed with that. So what will we do? There's... oh, it looks like the ad break's gone away. There's potentially an ad break coming up. It's lovely to have so many of you here. I hope you enjoyed the flight. The misconception that because the game's on PC and console it holds back the PC version. It doesn't. No, I don't think it does either. Let's go and get our lights off that we don't need on anymore. No, I agree completely. So many of the developers have now told us, the strength of this simulator. MSFS is still tarred with a brush from when it launched, which is fine, but I don't... Any game is a game, they're all games, is going to target as wide an audience as it can, and we shouldn't see that as a bad thing, see that as an opportunity, that even if it's only a small percentage, some of those people will go on to get really into this genre. So, it's coming up to 6 o'clock. I will look to close the stream down at 6. We'll let this deboard for just a little bit. Thank you ever so much everybody who's joined us today, especially Hina for flying along with us. This is 2E737. Everybody who's been in the chat, whether you've just been in for a little bit of it or whether you've been with us for the whole flight, it's been hugely appreciated. I really enjoyed that flight. Nice little way to chill out. Oh, we've got a follow right at the end. Amazing. UK Sim Pilot, welcome aboard. Thank you ever so much for following. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And hope to see you for some more Aviator streams in a little bit. Shall we have a look at who we might be able to give a raid to. Let me go and have a look at our options. Who's online that we know? It's pretty quiet actually. If anybody has some suggestions and wants to pop them in the chat, do let me know. Go and see Fly below. Spoony Light. Appalling. I can't believe you would call Spoony fat like that. That's awful. UKAIPTK, thank you ever so much for following. Welcome aboard to the channel. It's great to have you with us. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I'm going to head off in a minute and tell Spoony that Surly called fat. Paul, you missed the start. That's not a problem whatsoever. Of course, this will be up on Twitch as a VOD, and it will go up on YouTube. I'll look to get it up on YouTube tomorrow evening. Going live on YouTube in 1 minute is my latest plane spotting video. It's not the most exciting one ever. It's filmed over about an hour. Stansted on Thursday. It was cloudy. It wasn't anything super special. Only a 12-minute video, and it has got some interesting bits in it. So if you want to have a look at that, then I'd love it if you could check that out and give my plane spotting videos some support on YouTube as well. I'm definitely not the best. There's loads of really good recorders on YouTube who do some amazing stuff at some of the airports. But do you know what? It's keeping up my fun and my enjoyment of that side of the hobby as well. So I'm going to keep doing it just for that reason. So thanks ever so much, everyone. Shall we go and raid Lilo? We'll head over to Fly Lilo's stream, which is on the way at the moment. Oh, who's Tina saying? Oh, thank you, Hina. Sorry, I've worked out what you're saying. That's very kind, Hina. Thank you. So we're going to go and raid Gadget FPV. Stick around while we do that. Thank you ever so much for watching. I've had a great time spending this afternoon with all of you, and I will see you stream really soon. Have lovely evenings.
Really? Whoa! Just as I'm about to run out of fuel and crash the A310 in Dubai. Also, I'm in another stream that is also raiding. Brilliant. Oh, then who wants to win? Here you go. Look at that. I'm doing a giveaway. Welcome, Raiders. Okay, here we go. This is not working. This isn't working. This is not working. Google it. It's a GAM.